You see, I have very strongly believed in wildlife tourism as an important tiger conservation tool. I did my master's in wildlife sciences, my MPhil, my doctorate, and after having studied all these subjects topically and gaining all the degrees, I realized that the only way one can save the tiger is to put some economic gain, economic benefit, because we are talking about saving the abstract resources, resources which carry abstract values. In a developing democratic country, unfortunately, neither the government nor the people pay attention to any of these things. But we know that tigers are so important, and tigers in their forests and the natural habitats are very important for us for the continued supply of oxygen, for potable drinking water, carbon sequestering, and things like that. And tigers live in the forest, and these forests have become islands surrounded by human-supported activities. The government of India has been, we've been trying to save the tigers right from the day one, 1973, the Project Tiger was launched and all that. But somehow we were not able to do the justice with the tigers. We had been losing them and things like that. I emphasized on tourism. I worked on some of the important government projects as far as tiger conservation is concerned, different parts of the country. And I really strongly realized that tourism is possibly the only economic benefit which one can derive from tiger conservation. So I came to Corbett way back in 1993-94. I kind of pioneered wildlife tourism. I developed quite a few resorts here. One on the eastern periphery, and then one on the southern periphery, and quite a few resorts I gave my consultancies also. But slowly and gently, because people, when they had invested money, they were looking for return on investments and things like that. And quite a few non-serious players also came into the scene. And unfortunately, Corbett got deviated from the wildlife tourism. And that was not my concept of tourism, what was happening in Corbett. So I opened the doors of my own house. I bought a piece of land. And I said that, okay, I should start the homestay. And the homestays were gaining popularity and all that. I used to read, I kept getting news from different sources that now the bed and breakfasts are very important and things like that. In fact, during the Commonwealth Games in India, in New Delhi, the government of India had also encouraged people that if they have some extra rooms not being used by them, can be registered with the India Tourism, and they can run as B&Bs.
Sure.
So I checked up quite a few B&Bs in Delhi, and I found that these B&Bs are actually more of a guest houses. The families are not living there. So I had this idea that after having learned my hospitality from different resorts while working here, though I come from a forest background, I'm a naturalist. I opened the doors of my own house for the right kind of people, and who would come for different activities related to Corbett Tiger Reserve, the real wildlife tourism activities.
Sure.
That's how I came. I had bought this land in 2009, and 2011 I laid the foundation. 2005 March 2011 I laid the foundation of this house of mine, and then around 15th of March 2012 we had shifted here, and then there was a little 2012 years, and then the first floor was built. Then all of a sudden the Supreme Court, there was a case which had been going on in Supreme Court for quite some time, and finally the Supreme Court put a ban on all kinds of tourism in tiger reserves. I was a member of the Wildlife Advisory Board of Uttarakhand, so I had taken the case all the way to Uttarakhand, to Supreme Court on behalf of Uttarakhand government. And finally the case was won by, because Uttarakhand had been complying to all the necessity requirements or rules and regulations as laid down by the Supreme Court and its eco-development, eco-tourism activities guidelines. So that's how 2012, possibly December 2012, I've been operating since. You see, Rangers Lodge is all about experience, right? Rangers Lodge I don't have swimming pool and massage and bar and all that. It's my knowledge of the forest. I've been here for so many years. I had started, basically, I pioneered wildlife, I raised wildlife tourism. And again, in fact, I organize activities which are all related to Corbett Tiger Reserve. There's nothing which is related to anything else, just Corbett Tiger Reserve. So it all depends on the opening and closing of the park. There's one area where one can stay at the night in the forest rest houses. That area opens on the 15th of November, and it is open till 15th of June. And then there are other areas. There are two areas which are open all the year round for safaris. There is one area which opens around 15th of October. But there are number of options for safaris, for bird watching, walking safaris, and so on. So for me, I would say that uh, first week of October till about April end is the best time to come to Corbett. If somebody is basically coming for those activities, for the experience. Yes, number one activity is all the jungle-based safaris, whether it's elephant, jeep, night stays in the forest rest houses, nature walks, bird walks, walking safaris. There's a safari to Himalayas, and we go very early in the morning and to see the snow-capped mountain peaks. And when we go to that point, we drive through the forest. There is every possibility of seeing animals crossing the road early in the morning at 4 o'clock. When we reach there at about 5:30 or 6, the sun is about to rise, and the first rays of the sun fall on the snow-clad mountains. And then we capture all those, the whole change in the lights and all that on the snow-capped mountain peaks. And then we walk down, and we walk down through a trail which is very rich in birds. Some of the lifers, basically, for people are seen on that trail. And there is a wetland here which receives all kinds of migratory birds, and that is also with October is a good time to come. October till about February, March is a good time to. Well, it's basically that what is the purpose of coming to Corbett? First of all, you have to see. If you're coming just to unwind themselves, and people are coming to unwind because they're tired in Delhi and things like that, yeah, it's okay. There are luxurious resorts here with swimming pools and all kinds of things. But I'm sure that there's 2% of the total guests who come to Corbett. They basically come for different experience altogether. They come for jungle safaris, to view wildlife, to experience nature, to learn more about, why do we need to save the tigers? Why do we need to save the tigers and their natural habitats? Why the forests are important for us? So it's all about the experience, the wilderness experience. And I recommend people to come here for a longer time, not for like just come for a night and then go back. And then if somebody wants to come to the Rangers Lodge, it has to be a pre-planned trip, at least 2-3 months in advance. Everything is organized, the night stays, the jungle safaris. So I need to get in touch with people who are going to be my prospective guests, at least 2-3 months in advance, and then we talk. We interact, and then I would know what is the interest like. If the interest is all about landscape photography, bird watching, wildlife, then I plan an itinerary. And then itinerary has to be planned and it has to be advance booked.
Sure.
And then I love accompanying my guests on the safaris and the bird walks.